We originally met with Grist House Craft Brewery in November of 2015, just pretty much to learn a little bit more about their business, some of their business initiatives, and a little bit of the ins and outs of where they wanted to go in the short and long term.
A lot of the people that reached out to us in the beginning were for website design, not so much logo creation or brand management. A lot of stuff was for website design, and we wanted to find a company that could be an in-house one-stop shop.
And we realized that our logo and the direction we were kind of doing things wasn't going to work going forward into the future, right? As a growing company, we kind of had a self-realization that we needed to bring in professionals, people who actually knew how to do this stuff. We couldn't try to keep and do everything internally because that'd be a quick way to failure.
One of the first projects that we took on for Grist House was redoing their logo and completely giving the whole entire company a rebrand.
232 Creative came up with the beautiful house design with just the little grain coming out the top and the fermenter in the middle. I mean, it spoke to everything that our brand wanted to be.
Our logo and our branding are very clean and simplistic, and they stand out against some of those things that are more, not to say bright, but cartoonish and like extreme. This is a more modernistic and very a product and a brand that really stands out. And so as we're growing and when we get onto shelves and stuff like that in stores, we're competing against a lot of other beers. So something that is distinct and stand out is very key.
When you see that logo, that orange grist coming out of that greenhouse with the white fermenter, you just know that that's Grist House, and that's the delicious beer that you're going to get.
After we agreed upon a logo that everyone was super excited about, the next step of the process was to tackle the website. At the time, Grist House had maybe a 2-page website that was just very, very simplistic. And we wanted to take the logo that we had just designed and kind of build a website experience that was built around that. After several meetings and planning sessions, we had begun taking photography, writing some content for it, and ultimately just building the site. And we've gotten a lot of decent feedback from the website that it is very user-friendly. It's simple, it's clean, and people visit it to know what events are happening at Grist House and to know what beers are on tap or what special announcements that they have coming up. So after having some internal discussions and internally signing off on what the website redevelopment would look like, at that point, we had developed a launch plan. And we were going to launch the website, the logo redesign, as well as social media overhaul of all their images on February 1st of 2016. So that comprehensive strategy to launch into the market was, in our minds, super successful, and we had gotten great feedback, not just from the folks at Grist House, but more importantly, their customers and their clients.
So after designing the logo and the website, we knew that the rebrand was not finished. When you do that, you need to create a brand identity for the company, and this is something that we were ready to push for Grist House. We wanted to use social media as a tool, we wanted to use the website, we wanted to use the tap room itself as venues to create the brand identity that we needed to for Grist House with the new logo. The new logo wasn't exactly anything like the old logo, so the familiarity for the consumer just wasn't there, so we needed to start fresh, and this is something that we needed to push going forward.
In today's digital age where people need the most up-to-date information, one of the strategies that we've used to help Grist House continue pumping out its brand was kind of an expansion of their social media activities. So anytime that they have an event or a beer release coming up, we take that information and design a logo for each beer and kind of a write-up that we can then put on social media so that Grist House's loyal customers are able to always know what's new and what's fresh on tap. One of the really cool projects that we were able to help Grist House with in this past year was designing a label for their first bottled beer as well as their first canned beer.
We got really excited to be able to put our footprint on something that's going to be all around Pittsburgh in people's hands. So with the can design, we wanted to take aspects of the things that we've already done for Grist House, which was the logo and the website. With the design, Grist House didn't want what is becoming the norm in the craft beer can design world is, a lot of colorful and very artsy. They wanted to keep it simple. They wanted to keep it sleek and modern, which was the same with their logo. So that's something that we did for them. We made a simple can design that speaks to who Grist House is.
And the feedback that we've gotten from Brian and Kyle, and again, they're more importantly, their customers, has been tremendous. And the fact that they feel that their can sticks out from anybody else on the market.
When everything went out, it's very identifiable. We were recently featured in a local craft magazine, and the can was there against several other bottles and canned beers, and it definitely stood out. And so that was part of that whole inception, and the design and the simplicity and using that throughout all of our marketing has made us stand out.
It's naturally awesome, marketing a brewery. It's a pretty cool thing to do. But one of the things that we find, most special about our partnership is just working with Brian and Kyle and all the folks at Grist House. They've made us feel like we're a valued part of the team. And while we work very hard together in trying to master both of our crafts, one of the most valuable things about working with Grist House is just our relationship.
So 232 Creative, out of no obligation to any kind of contractual obligation or anything, will regularly come down and bring friends and family and business to our establishment, supporting us. We support them, so in turn, it's very nice to see someone that not only takes pleasure in working with you during the workday, but outside of the workday, to get to know you, to go to a Pens game with you, to go to a Pirates game with you, and just have a nice time and build a relationship that could last a very long time.
The fun thing and the thing that I love about being in the craft beer industry is most people you meet are like-minded people that like to have fun. I mean, if you're not having fun dealing in craft beer, then you're doing it wrong. And so I don't like working with jagoffs, and it's great that we met Stetz and Miller, because these guys are awesome guys who fit very well into the craft beer community and really in any community, because they're hardworking, but they know how to have fun, and it's great to be able to joke around and have a great relationship with people that you're working with. We know how to get stuff done when it needs to be done, but when the pressure's on, everybody can still get along and make sure everything's happening. And then when it's time to cut loose and have a beer, it's always a fun time to hang around and enjoy a few.